is the Glass Cannon Network.
Hello and welcome back to Friends of the Pod. Our friends this week are the gods of RuneQuest. They're real. They're real. And they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the blue one.
Should we all hold up a book? A different book.
I can hold up books too.
I have more RuneQuest books than I have of probably any role-playing game system at this point.
Look at all these arms.
So many books.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a god. So many arms.
Not like this guy over here with 2 arms.
I hope everyone enjoyed our character creation session from last week. What you may not know is that could have easily gone on for another 2 hours.
Minimum. Easily could have gone on for 4 more hours if we wanted to.
And I would have liked to. The fact that it's extensive and I was like, I'm into it too. I would have gone another 2 hours. I want to know what my grandparents were up to.
So I was super into it just because Brian is so patient. Because if I had to do it on my own, I'd be just like,
that's true.
Yeah. So I was saying off mic that I started a home game in the interim period since we last recorded, and for the character creation of that we started with the grandparents. But you get some really cool narrative stuff for your backstory. So one of my players was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play this mind wizard who's going to do all this stuff," and then as he's rolling his stuff, all these things, he finds out that the people who are mind wizards who worship this cult that can summon a giant bat the size of Texas. Both his grandparent was fed to that bat, and then he found out that his parent, the son of that parent, was eaten by that bat. And now he's like, I don't think it's cool if I worship that bat anymore. So
yeah, it really changes things. I mean, looking at it in all the detail, I find myself being in other games, being like, how am I supposed to know who I am? Or my motivation, and if I don't know what wars my grandparents fought in.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
The detail really helps, I think, to drive roleplay in an amazing way.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're here to play some RuneQuest with our various gods and our various characters. If anyone doesn't remember, I'm Brian. I also work for Chaosium, and I'm friends with. I am the friend of the pod. And I'm here to play some RuneQuest. Now, I want to clarify again, for those of you who did watch our character creation stuff, it might have seemed pretty involved, pretty hardcore. There was a lot of numbers going around, and yes, there are. But once you've got your numbers on your sheet, you're pretty much good to go. And it's just your GM who needs to know how they work. And I've got my screen here, so I've got all the tables I could possibly need. And then hopefully everything else will just feel super seamless, and we'll just get some really in-depth role-playing happening. But first, I just want to meet everyone's characters, mostly so I can write down everyone's ridiculous names. So, Troy, could you, just for everybody, and for anyone who didn't get a chance to check out that first episode, and if you haven't, I encourage you to go watch that before you dive in here, because it really gives you some extra context for everybody. So, Troy, can you tell us your character's name? And the cult they worship, and what their whole deal is. Assuming you've thought about this at all.
Oh, I have. I dug in pretty deep, and then I built 3 more characters in my spare time that I'll never play.
That's good.
I am playing a worshiper of. God, I have it here on my sheet, and I can't even find it. Dakafal. Shaka Khan. I worship Shaka Khan. No, I worship Dakafal. And my occupation that I chose, and I'd kind of alluded to this last week before we really went into the book and chose the occupations that are listed there. I'm an assistant shaman, so I'm working my way up, I guess. And my name is Rex Mannheim.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Rex Mannheim.
Yeah, and I like to think that these shamans of Dakafal kind of try to dress similar to the visage of the god, which was if you remember, it's a mirror for a face, right?
Yes, because I don't think we mentioned, but Dakafal is the god. He's the judge of the dead. So you thought, like, and you pointed out last week, he's sort of like all in robes, but his face is like a handheld mirror. So when you look at him, you see yourself. Mm-hmm. And at the underworld in Glorantha is a real place. You can get there. So it's a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's physical. It's not even like through a portal. No, you just go through the right cave and you walk long enough and it's underneath, because Glorantha's flat and the underworld's down here. So
you can vacation in the underworld.
Yeah.
Honey, where should we go this summer?
I want somewhere hot.
If you sit on this meeting, we can get a timeshare.
All right. Well, welcome Rex, the initiative Dakafal. Noura, whomst?
I'm playing a green elf shaman priestess of the Cult of Aldria named Skepticles the Unconvinced. Daughter of Susceptiples the Gullible and granddaughter of Perplexicles the Befuddled.
Oh my God.
Wow, what an amazing family line.
I'm really excited for the aside roleplay session we have when you're talking to your three generations. And it'll be funny.
What is your name again? Skepticles the what?
Skepticles the Unconvinced.
The Unconvinced. Nice.
This will be fun. And you are a green elf, and elves in Glorantha are probably close to more like dryads or like baby ents if you're a Tolkien person. Have you thought at all about what your character's whole vibe is? Like, do you have what's your like physically?
Well, I would say her skin tone is kind of like Joe's back wall.
Okay.
Sure.
Nailed
it. She's very reserved and calm. I would say, as her name implies, she is the level-headed one of this boy band. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because she's so unconvinced.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Skeptically.
But she's very like a Mother Nature, like Earth, like the vibes are immaculate type of. But
she was literally born of the earth, so that makes sense. Yeah. She's a plant. She's mostly plant.
Plant lady.
You have the plant rune instead of the man rune, I think. One of them is replaced.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay.
That's just that's just my vibe.
Also, I should just say for the audio audience, because I think there might be people that aren't seeing this but are hearing it. My wall is a bluish green.
Yes, important clarification. A very blue-green, vibrant wall.
Vibrant bluish green.
Also, for the audio-only people, at the beginning of the podcast, we were all holding up the book, and that's what we were talking about.
Yes.
Very funny.
Okay, Joe O'Brien. Who are you? What's your deal?
I am playing Yonda of Clearwine.
Yonda, as in
Yonda, Y-A-N-D-A.
Like over yonder?
Oh, yes. Yonda.
I don't make fun of your games, Brian. I try to make real characters.
Thank you. I
appreciate your work and the world of Glorantha.
Okay, yonder of what?
Yonda of Clearwine,
which is a city in Sartar, which is where Yonda is from. Look at this. Someone's done that homework.
Joe did homework.
Gold star for homework.
Okay.
Yonda of Clearwine is a warrior who has, been through some shit, survived a really harsh winter, was nearly killed by a member of the Orleaving clan, nearly died at the Battle of Pennell Ford, and then was captured and sold into indentured servitude at the liberation of Pavas. So she's had a rough go, but I think that she tries to keep a positive outlook, and it comes out sometimes in her thirst for blood. She has a very positive thirst for blood, but particularly when it comes to avenging.
She's an initiative Babista Gore, right?
Exactly.
The avenging god of vengeance who wears a necklace of body parts.
She is a worshiper of Babista Gore, who is the daughter of vengeance, and it is an all-woman cult that is really focused on tracking down the enemies of the earth and destroying them with no mercy. But when they're not sent to destroy a given target, they don't just go around killing people. I think she drinks fine wines and hangs out and has a good time. But when the mission calls, she's ready to kill, and she doesn't hesitate. So yeah, she is. I just consider. I imagine her. Dark-haired, dark complexion, kind of hide armor sort of vibe. She wields a medium hide shield and uses like a 5-foot-long leather whip that she fights with.
Yeah, so we talked about this in the last pod, but there's a thing in RuneQuest called Your Glorantha Will Vary, and that's essentially the license that we give you and the game creator Greg Stafford gave to everybody to take his creation of Glorantha and change it so it suits your home game. So there'll be things that are different in this, and we encourage you to change what makes sense for you. So one of the things we talked about was the Beast of Gore cult, as written, they're all about axes and using axes. And Joe said, "Could I use whips?" And look, in our Glorantha, the Beast of Gore cult loves whips. So whips are a big deal.
They don't just use them; they love them.
They love them.
Yeah, you do.
So I thought that would be a fun thing to explore, and I don't know if there was anything else I wanted to mention. Well, the warrior occupation I think is an important thing because there's a difference when you're looking at occupations. A lot of them are very. For lack of a better, they're not all like classes in other role-playing games where they're all different ways of fighting. Like a lot of them they're actual occupations. You're not meant to be a fighter. Warrior is one, and I chose it because I felt like with her history in battle and her being captured and sold into servitude, I feel like her servitude even was as a warrior because she was so good at it that maybe she had to fight for people she didn't necessarily want to, but it was something that she was just so good at that they had her do it. So I liked that idea that warrior could be like a job you might not even want to do, but you have to do it.
Well, yeah, actually, there's like a listed income for it too. So
yeah, it's like you're like a bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's your like sub? Like in warrior, there's the specification which
light infantry.
Light infantry.
So she's kitted like light infantry, which is why she has a medium shield, a one-handed weapon. She's pretty light on her feet. She's not mounted. She doesn't have like a lance. There's all different kinds of warriors, which is really cool. But she's more of a light infantry. Yeah, fast, one-handed. Knows how to use a shield, and she can. Oh, and on her back, and I always love this image. She's got the 2 javelins like cross sticking up, so she can just like slug. She's got a little bit of a ranged option.
If someone's out of the range of the whip that you love so dearly,
right?
Just
exactly.
Hurl the javelin. I look forward to you missing and it being awkward.
Actually, I called it a 5-foot whip. But I believe it's a 1.5 meter whip. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's 5 feet. That's roughly 5 feet. Yeah.
I apologize. I'll only speak in the metric system from now on.
Thank you. The rest of the world would really appreciate it.
Smart ass. Oh, it's so true, though. It's so true.
All right. So Yanda, did you have a deed name, or you were just Yanda of Clearwine, weren't you?
Yanda of Clearwine. Yeah, I didn't know if Bronze Age was a time of like surnames, or if it was kind of like you were just kind of named for where you were from, or like Nora's character, which I really liked, like the Unconvinced. You know what I mean? Like Yanda totally the Terrible. Like I didn't know.
It's important. It's not actually the Bronze Age. I just didn't want to make that clear. This is a fake world, a fake fantasy world inspired by the. So generally, in my Glorantha, what I think I like to do is if you want a surname, I'd use the surname of your clan. So if your name was Joe and you were in that O'Leaving clan who tried to kill you, that everyone in this party seems to have beef with, you'd be like Joe O'Leaving. You know.
Okay, so Yanda Gore. All right.
Yeah, Yanda Gore.
I like
that's
that
pretty
a little
cool.
better.
Yeah, that's cool. Josephine McAdam, you've got a really chill character, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. I am playing Wilma T. Wolverhavenshire's son.
Wilma.
And Wilma, or Vilma, perhaps.
Vilma.
Yeah, Vilma.
I'm sorry. Can you please spell the last name?
Yeah, it's WULFERHAVENSHIRESON. It's exactly how it sounds.
Wolferhaven Shireson.
Is there any umlauts in there?
Wolferhaven Shireson.
Yeah, there's some umlauts. Throw some umlauts in.
Yeah.
Yeah, a T it's just a T dot like in the middle name. I am also a warrior. I have known only death, except whereas you are not always killing, I am probably always killing. I worship Gagarth, who is the wild hunter or the wild hunt. The wild hunter who is followed by a like ravening horde of like spirits and what is it, like spirit wolves and howling crowds of dead followers, and they're called the Wild Hunt, and it is my dream to be part of this wild hunt one day so I can continue the battle in death. But I'm pretty chill.
Does everybody know the song Ghost Riders in the Sky? Where,
I don't.
You'll know if you heard it, but basically it's like this cowboy who's out there and he sees all these like evil cowboys in the sky who are like riding with these bulls, and they give him a warning, like, if you don't change your ways, one day you will have to ride with us forever rather than going to heaven or whatever. But Josephine wants to be up in that business. So yeah, Gagarth is essentially like the god of outlaw cowboys.
And I'm even a rune priest of my cult. I have like high enough stats that I'm just on that rune priest level. We don't have lots of qualifications needed for our cult. We're not really like well liked maybe by almost anyone.
Let me just quickly explain to both people playing in the game and people listening at home. So you don't really quote unquote like level up in RuneQuest, but each cult has sort of different internal tiers which unlock additional abilities, and most of these tiers are locked behind a combination of role-playing things and mechanical things. In the case of Gagarth, to go from initiate to rune priest, and then the third tier is normally rune lord. To go from initiate to rune priest, you just needed like a ride skill of 75 and any weapon at 90 or something like that. So he was like, "Yeah, cool, come on in." So in Josephine's case, and we're probably not going to do anything with this in today's session, but that unlocks for her a bunch of, or her character rather, a bunch of spells which allow you to create magical items, basically.
Oh, do they? Yeah, I just ignored what it gave me, really, and just
you can enchant things. So, like, you could take a stone and say if you knew a blade sharp spell, you could put that spell in the stone, give it to Troy, and while Troy holds the stone, he can cast that spell. That kind of stuff.
Oh,
so it's pretty powerful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The other thing is my occupation is warrior. All I've known, my whole history was glorious battle. Like, I think I fought with great glory multiple times. I've essentially just been used to fight things over and over. And my subclass is like heavy cavalry warrior. And so I have this, I decided it's a giant white flamingo, but it's like stained with blood all over it. Like, just disgusting flamingo that I ride. Yeah. Because I, narrowly escaped a flamingo stampede when I was younger. And I came back to basically get head to head and wrestled this flamingo and showed superiority. And now I ride that very same flamingo into battle.
So fucking cool. I'm looking at mine. I'm like, I almost starved to death 3 times.
It's because you refused to eat anything. You were plants, and you could only eat other plants.
But yeah, super
that's
chill.
cool.
I lead people in raiding, killing, and robbery, but I'm sure you'll be fine with that.
So another thing that we just want to clarify with you, you've got this cool spirit you can summon to help fight if you choose to do so. Do you want to explain? And there's a spell that that your cultists learn to create those spirits. Do you remember the what was part of that ritual? Would you like to explain to everybody what happens so that you get to have this cool little summonable guy?
Yeah. So I have a Whirlvish. It's contained in a little pouch of sand, that I have on my body. But in order to, I've already done this. You don't even need to worry about it. But I just did a little ritual where I slayed someone all night long under the desert sky, and slowly murder someone until the sun rises, and curse them and create this whirlfish.
Yeah, and that's all you have to do to get your own little Pokemon friend to fight for you.
Wow.
There is a chance that this thing turns against us if I can't command it, but it's cool. They're around in general. They're like these. What are they? They're the souls of people caught by the wild hunt. Hey, that's what I worship. We caught their soul. And they're whipped into an enraged passion and frenzy until their soul is worn away into the grit of the sands. And it engages in spirit combat and does like a bunch of like sand damage basically and stuff. But
that's incredibly cool. I looked into, there was an opportunity through Babeaster Gore, you can summon an earth elemental.
Correct.
And I was like, cool, let's do that. And then I read into it and it was like, when you summon it, well, it's just there. Like, then you have to do the extra work to actually control it. And looking at my power, I guess it was, my power is so low. I was like, this thing is just going to laugh at me and then kill me. Because it says like it'll just attack the summoner if you can't control it. And I was I think I'll move on to a different spell.
Yeah, like you
but it's very cool that you have to control it.
Yeah, if you wanted to, like you could spec into like the summoner version or the summoner build of Babeaster Gore, where you summon like the 3-point. Like the biggest version of the Earth Elemental, which is like a hill-sized golem, and then you control it and it just fights for you and you just stop over everything. But then you probably won't be able to use your whip so good. So
right, exactly.
Okay,
my power's not great, but
it's okay. We'll worry about that later. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. All right, we're gonna play some RuneQuest. Really quick. Can everyone roll a d20 for me? Because we're gonna just check what your family left behind for you. Troy, when you're ready, tell me what you got.
How about a natural 20 to start the sesh?
Natural 20. Can you roll twice more on this chart? And I'll give you.
Oh my god!
You know what? Sure.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 14 and an 11.
Okay, so the 14 is a necklace which contains. It's like that thing that I just told you about. It's while you wear the necklace, you can cast the spell Glamour 2.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
I have so many spells.
So glamorous.
Which makes up for having no armor.
Exactly. So just write that down your sheet, Glamour 2, and you can look it up in the Red Book of Magic. It is a spirit magic spell. And the 11 you got is a special crystal. Could you roll 2d6 and add 3?
Sure.
Yeah. We love rolling dice.
No, that's going to be 12.
Okay, 12. Well done. Okay, so the special crystal, while you have it on your body, gives you a pool of 12 magic points you can draw on to cast spells. Yeah.
Oh my god!
In addition to my,
in addition to your character's
15?
magic points.
Wow,
yes.
so I got 27 magic.
Yeah, and I would.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, Josephine McAdam, what did you roll?
I rolled a 12.
A 12. You. Can you roll a d6, please?
I don't know that I liked that reaction. It's a 3.
You have 3 healing potions that each of them heal 1d10 points of damage.
Very cool.
That someone in your family left you, and I'm sure, given your backstory, someone left them willingly. Noura, what did you roll?
I rolled a very intimidating 6.
Very intimidating 6. You have would you prefer a brooch or a buckle?
It depends on what are they doing the same thing?
Well, they do the same thing. It's just an aesthetic choice.
I'm gonna do a brooch.
Okay. It's a brooch. Now the next thing is not optional.
Okay.
It depicts a fat grinning dwarf.
Cool. I love it.
and while you wear it, you can cast Heal 2.
Oh wow.
Whoa, that's big.
Nice.
Yes. Do you already have the heal spell? Heal But if you do, you can combine.
I didn't take one,
That's
so
okay.
I'm going to
okay.
wear the F out of that brooch.
Okay. And Joe O'Brien, what did you roll on your D20?
16.
16. You have a finely made musical instrument of your choice. What musical instrument do you want it to be? A bassoon? A double bass?
Yeah, she walks around with a stand-up bass.
Yeah.
An instrument.
Bagpipes.
Interesting.
A kazoo is very funny too.
Yeah. I'll just go with a flute. It's light, easy to carry.
All right.
Oh,
And if you use it when you roll the skill play instrument, you get plus 20%.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So if you got 0, you go straight to 20.
Yeah, she was
Great.
formerly not a musician, but what is this? This is an heirloom?
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
You're a flautist.
You better play that flute for us.
All right.
I don't see the skill.
It's under
skill play
manipulation.
instruments.
Oh, it's under
yeah.
manipulation.
Because you know how, like, when I play my violin, I'm really manipulating it. You know? Like, make noise. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Let's. How about we play some RuneQuest? How do we feel about that? Let's get into it. All right. So it is Clay Day in Death Week of Fire Season. Using my Glorantha calendar here, which has got all the seasons in it. So it is Clay Day in the Death Week of Fire Seasons. That is the 17th. It is the holy day of Marangor. So if you were a initiate of Marangor, that was your cult, you could get your rune points back. And each of you are in various places. So Troy, what are you up to on this Clay Day in the Death Week of Earth Season? On Fire Season, rather. Where do you find yourself? You don't have to be with anybody. You can be by yourself. You can be with somebody. I don't know.
I think he's just outside of town, sitting next to a small pond, kind of looking at his reflection in the pond, not unlike a mirror, and meditating.
Okay. How many rune points do you have? 3?
So many. Is that on my...
It'll be on your spells. Rune spells, rune points. Do you
rune points. I have 3 rune spells, but I don't think that answers your question.
No. You should have 3 points. 3 is the base, unless you chose to permanently.
Oh yeah, 3 rune points. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Can you roll a D100? Let me know if you get between 1 and 3.
A D100, you said?
Yes.
I rolled a 93.
Okay, that's very different. That's okay. So as you're looking into the pool, your own reflection. And you're not sure whether you're beginning to hallucinate or if you're just in a trance or whatever, but your reflection takes on, as we said, you dress very similarly to your god. You've got your hooded cloak on and you're looking down at your face, and slowly the ripples in the water change. And rather than seeing your own reflection, you just see the outside of a mirror, as if it were the actual mirror face of Darkafel, the Judge of the Dead. And that drifts in and out. It switches between your reflection and just seeing this mirror reflecting the sky. And it's hard to say whether it is actually changing or you're actually just seeing your face in the mirror, in the water, looking back at you. But you hear a voice in your head. And the voice says, "Many will soon die. If they can be saved, perhaps you can stop them. You must go to the town of Pyne, outside of Clearwater, and judge those who fall." And then, as you're sitting there, this vision sort of fades as a nearby child throws a stone into the pond, sending ripples all through it, knocking you completely out of your head.
I immediately murdered the child.
Exactly. And roll a D100 to see how he has found Judge. No, don't actually. Judging the dead child. Yeah.
You have disturbed my god.
Yeah. So what do you do now? The kid upon seeing you, because the Darkafel people are a bit scary. He just goes, sorry, sir. I shall be going then, I suppose.
I imagine he's wearing this like shimmering veil where you can see his face through it because he's not going to wear an actual mirror.
He's like, totally normal. Yeah,
shimmering veil. And he just looks at the kid and doesn't say anything.
Okay, and the kid like backs up, drops the other stone he was going to just hurl into the pond to upset the ducks, and then runs away. One of the ducks gets out of the pond and wipes his face, looks at you and says, "Bloody hell, those kids throwing rocks at me all the time. How are you, Rex? Are you doing well today? You looked very in your trance." This is an anthropomorphic duck person who is...
I don't know what goes on in this world. This could be real.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a normal thing.
It is. It's a normal duck guy.
You could have played a duck if you wanted. Just the same way Noura played an elf, you could have played a duck. Are they men cursed to be ducks or ducks cursed to be men? We don't know. But there was a curse. They carry upon them a terrible curse of weird, not beast, not madness. But he was just swimming around. He looks like, like a Daffy Duck situation, but he's got hands.
So Rex was at peace and then had this communion, possibly with his god.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a child interrupted and just kind of took it out of this, and now a duck guy is talking to him.
Exactly.
It's like, I must go to Pyne.
Pyne, you say?
Yes.
That is some distance away. Why would you want to go there? They don't even have any ponds.
It is not pawns that I seek, but those who must be judged.
Oh, that all sounds very serious.
Yes. When the day comes that the world falls, the good and the bad shall be judged, and I shall stand there and watch. Good day, Duckman!
And you leave without giving the duck any stale bread, and he kicks a rock in your absence.
Swoops his clothes.
Joe O'Brien, or should I say Yanda? Where does Yanda find herself on the, what did I say it was? Play Day and Death Week of Fire Season? It's actually the holy day of Marangor, as I checked, which is actually Babistagor's sister. She's the god of earthquakes, which is pretty cool. Nothing really to do with you, just a fun thing to note.
Well, I think that she would much rather be where she is. Let's say that she would like to be offering sacrifice or celebrating in some way with friends.
In Clearwine, yeah.
Yeah, in Clearwine, but instead she's, let's say a good distance from Clearwine, and she is standing stoically beside like a merchant cart, and there's just this like huge, gross merchant that's like running the thing, and he's just loud and sweaty and obnoxious, and he's like wildly inappropriate, and she's just like standing there gritting her teeth because she is in servitude to this guy and like can't break this employment for whatever reason, whatever complications we don't need to get into. And we just see her at this kind of stall, and we'll say that there's like a peasant or something that tries to steal something from the cart, a piece of fruit or something like that. And before this like urchin can get away, she's just whack, and like the whip just like whips around the arm of this like teenage boy, and whatever, the hunk of bread goes flying. She's like, ah, and she whips the whip back off of his hand, and then
the big disgusting merchant looks at you and goes, "Yes, my hunks of bread, they are always safe where you are involved. Yes, thank you, Yanda, thank you. Please return the hunk of bread to me. Return it to me now."
"You don't think you have enough hunks of bread?" she says, and reaches down to pick it up.
"No, ever since we left Duck Point and all those ducks came to the bread cart, we don't have to worry about all the bread. Anyway, I just finished my telepathic communion with my brothers, the other merchants." Yes, the merchants whom you have met, probably. I cannot remember. I don't really pay much attention to you.
Your unbearable brothers, yes, I'm familiar with them.
My OB, yes. UB, unbearable brothers. My UBs, the very UBs. The UBs Guild of Merchants. Now, I finished my telepathic communion because, as you know, me, like many merchants, we are initiates of the god Isiris. Isiris, the god of communication and trade, I'm explaining this to you because I think you simpleton, and it's certainly not expository at all. You are a stupid simpleton. Isra is the god of communication. Now, I finish my telepathic communion, and he says that the people of Pyne require a hunk of bread services. Apparently, they keep getting harried by some nearby soldiers or something. I don't care about that. Point is, apparently their food supply line's cut off, and we got to go there, make big markup, yes?
Well, then I guess we are going. Opinions? That is, and in her head, she's thinking like, that's near home, and it's been a long time since she's been back there, and she's like, well, then we must go with all haste.
Yes, much haste, yes. And he gets on his cart. The cart sort of wheezes beneath him, and then you begin your journey toward Pyne.
And you just see like a small hint of a smile like crosses her lips that they're heading in that direction. Maybe this is a chance to get out from under this guy's thumb and close by to some allies and friends.
There's really no way of knowing anything could happen. All right, Noura, where are you on Clay Day of Death Week in Fire Season?
Skepticles is out in the field, and she's just like dancing among the flowers and the trees, and like she loves a good festival season, but like Clay Day in the Death Week of Fire Season especially, she's like collecting flowers to make a garland for her head, but make no mistake, because it is Death Week and the way she's like remembering it is that she's making sure to collect blossoms that have already fallen naturally from the trees. And she's like trying to commune with the plants, and she's like making this flower crown, and she's like wanting them to speak with her. But then she's like, do you think I should cut bangs? I don't know if it's like frames my face right, but like I just feel like it's something maybe that possibly I kind of might want to do.
So you look down as you've phrased this question, and the rosy cheeked, glossy eyes rabbits and chipmunks that are dancing around your feet.
Yeah.
They look up at you and they're like, "We think you'd look good with bangs."
Thanks. I was like really like wondering about it, and I just couldn't come to a decision. But like sometimes I think it would like look really hot, and then like sometimes I'm not so sure. But like, thank you for your opinion.
Could you remind me of your mother and your grandmother's names? What were they? Other parents?
Yes. No. Well, I matrilineal, my that side. So my mother's name is Susceptiples the Gullible. Like she wasn't the brightest, but like she had a really good heart. She's a really good person.
She's dead.
What's that?
Is she dead?
I don't know, because like on my character sheet I see next to it dead ? And I haven't like marked it off.
Okay, that's okay. She's probably alive. And your grandmother?
So my grandmother is Perplexicles the Befuddled. Like she just had a lot to deal with. I think it was just a generational thing. Like they just had so much more to deal with than we did. And I'm so grateful for like everything that she had done to like get me to where I know I starved to death a couple of times almost, but like she really had it tough.
All right, so as you're in the field, and the chipmunks and the rabbits and the butterflies are dancing around you, just so enthralled to be near you, the ground sort of erupts on either side of you, and from the ground erupt these two little trees that then take form, and you notice that it is your mother and your grandmother, and your mother looks at you and says, "Skepticles. I just heard that the Red Emperor has returned, and there's going to be nothing we can do about it."
What?
Not at all. I know. There's nothing we can do about it at all. No, someone told me that. And then the grandmother says, "Wait, what are you talking about? What?"
The Red Emperor, didn't you hear her?
No, wait, who's the Red Emperor? I said, no, the Red Emperor, the evil one. And when he returns, well, I'm told it'll actually be much better for everybody. I heard that, in the air, and I heard it, and it must be true.
I love some hot goss, and I like totally like. What do we do? Like, what do we do so that this Red Emperor doesn't like come into power? Because
I'm pretty sure that
the vibes will be off.
Well, I was told by a lovely man handing out flyers that the Red Emperor is actually pretty cool. But I know, and then the grandmother says, "I don't know if that's exactly what." wait, where am I again? What's going on? And then befuddled. Your mother says, no, apparently the Red Emperor has returned to the town of Pyne. And you know about Pyne because that is where one of our holy trees are, in the town of Pyne. Pyne is spelt with a Y, just everybody, so it's really
of course it is.
Fantasy. Yeah. So yes, but we think it would be good if you were to go to the town of Pyne and make sure that the Red Emperor is if he's involved at all with our ancient special tree, that he's being respectful of it.
Okay, so like not really interfering, just so long as like the tree is safe.
And well, yeah, you make a good point. That's a really good idea. Just don't interfere unless the tree is safe. Okay. But also you should go there. Yeah. I think I should do that because I'm real protective. Like I'm an empath, and so like if I know that like especially like if a tree is like in danger, I just can't.
Guys, just like welcome to Los Angeles.
Okay, yeah.
This is painful.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna go say bye to like my little bunny friends and like the trees and stuff, and then I'm just gonna go make my way because
we hope you never leave us, Skepticles.
I will always be with you in spirit.
Oh wow.
But a tree needs me, so I'm gonna go.
God, it's a Disney movie.
So you leave, and your mother leaves, and your grandmother's left standing there, confused as to what the hell's going on, utterly perplexed, as it were.
Yeah.
All right, Vilma.
Yes.
Where are you? Where are you on play day in Death Week of fire season? I keep messing this up.
I am standing in the desert.
Hell yeah.
The sand whips over my feet with the wind. There are stones in front of me that I have set in a ritualistic offering where I wipe the blood off my mace.
Looks at character sheet. Mace.
And I look back at the band of warriors that just followed me and slayed all that stood before them. I say, you did well today. Now go back to whatever hellhole you came groveling from. I will call upon you again when your services are needed.
And most of them begin to walk away. But there's one guy, a guy who fought pretty good for you. He's got gnarly facial scars, like something's clawed across his whole face. At some point, it's taken one of his eyes out, and his lips are all sort of not healed properly, so they're all over the place, and he grows hair, so his beard's all scraggly. He fought pretty hard. So as the others begin to walk away, he hangs back a little bit. Wilhelm. Sorry, your name's not Wilhelm. Sorry. Vilma, I have one more thing I should discuss with you before I take my leave.
Speak. And I'm like feeding, oh gosh, my flamingo's name is, Craig, yeah.
Craig.
Craig.
Speak quickly, I must tend to Craig soon.
I heard they... we heard whispers that a band of lunar soldiers had taken up in a town in Sartar. Lunar soldiers bring with them some good killing.
Yes, where did you hear this?
I heard it in the whisper network of the various mercenaries of the desert, where everybody gets their information.
Yes. Lunar soldiers.
Yes, as those who may recall, the Lunar Empire recently was pushed out of our lands because they occupied us illegally from the north
yes,
for many
I
generations.
Remember.
Yes, well, this was only 6 months ago, so it's not good if they're still there.
Yes.
love the exposition these NPCs give.
I don't know
as
what
part
you're
of their
talking
regular
about.
conversation.
This is how people talk.
I remember fighting them many, many times, and I would love to fight them again. I would like to eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if I could so choose.
It's very serious. Very hardcore.
Yes.
Well, we heard that it is in. Well, perhaps you would pay me for such information as to the specificities of where exactly.
I will not crush your skull.
Were you going to? Before I told you.
If you withhold it from me.
Oh, okay. Well, that is very scary. Do you have the intimidate skill?
Oh God!
I'm just checking. It'll be under.
No,
you don't have it at all.
I mean, we automatically get 15.
That's pretty good. Hold on. Let's make this a learning moment. In RuneQuest, one of the core mechanics is to.
Brian, would you mind explaining this rule as a chipmunk?
In RuneQuest. I'm not going to do that for the sake of teaching the game. So there's a thing you can do in RuneQuest called augmenting, which is a very common thing where you basically take one skill or rune or a passion and use it to boost the skill of one of the thing you're about to roll, whatever it is. So for instance,
that's awesome.
For example, the air rune is associated with violence. So you might, before you do something violent, you can say, I'm going to try and become impassioned by my air rune. And you would roll on your air rune, and depending on that roll, you will get a bonus to your next roll. So there is obviously a danger to this, but I was going to say, Josephine, if you'd like to make an intimidate roll, but before doing so, if you have another skill or a passion or a rune which you think would is applicable to the situation, you can attempt to augment it. Now, the thing I will say, you can only use the skill, passion, or rune that you use to augment. You can only do it once per session. So once you've used your, say, hatred of lunar soldiers, if you have that, if you have hate lunar empire as one of your passions, and you use that to augment or an attack against one of them, you can't later use that same hatred to passion yourself.
Okay. Well, why don't we just use my air rune, since that has to do with violence here?
Okay. What is your air rune?
It's at 70.
Okay, well, roll against your air rune. So looking for a D100, and you're rolling to hit 70 or lower. Lower the better.
Cool, I got 79.
That sucks. So because you failed it on a rune, you're actually gonna take minus 20% to all further rolls that use that rune.
No.
Until you can spend a whole day meditating on your relationship with air.
Oh my God.
So just write on your sheet somewhere minus 20 to all air rune rolls. And now you can attempt your now you can attempt the initial the
intimidation,
check, which is just 15. That's okay.
Yeah, 15. Got 34.
No, that's so close. Still not close enough. So this guy's like, I'm sure you're not going to actually crush my skull. I mean, you would have done that to everybody else, right? But look, I like you. I think you're fine. If you have it in your heart to give me 2 lunars, just so I can get myself a hunk of bread from the merchant.
Tying it all together.
Fine. 2 lunars. And I throw them at his feet.
Okay, he scrambles down and picks them up, like a poor person, like a poor person. He picks them up, and he tucks them away. And he goes, I heard that these band of lunar soldiers are in the town of Pyne, which is inside there. It'll take you a while to get there, but maybe this is before all the other scenes, so timing will work.
Yes. You hear that, Craig? We are... We are to set out for Pyne.
All right. Now, Is everyone going to Pyne? I hope so.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to refuse the call to adventure?
Good God, no. Good night, everybody. That was it. We all said no.
Oh, no, you all said no. Well, we could just keep going random, everyone doing their own thing. Don't know how consistent that would be. So let's say between all of y'all, you actually get there on Water Day in Fertility Week of Fire Season, which is about 6 days later. We can say in that time, Josephine, that you took a day to just really sit down and be like, what is air? What is air to me?
Okay, great.
And just get rid of that.
Can I ask a follow-up on that?
Of course.
What is associated with air?
Air is hold on. There's a whole thing. So air is
I guess I don't mean it that specific. What I mean is, how do you know what is associated with what runes in terms of like skills and stuff like that? I don't see.
No, yeah. So it's one of them's in the book. The other one's sort of just like a vibe you can vibe out. If you can explain to me how you think air is involved. But if you go to this was in our character creation thing, the rune section of character creation, rune affinities, which is sort of page 48 of the core book. So air is the element of strength and violence. It separates earth from sky, and then it's got a list of things. So, for instance, it's got characteristics as your strength. It's got personality traits. There's senses, so, sense chaos or smelling. Manipulate skills, weapon skills, anything to do with your lungs or muscle, anything to do with the color orange, anything to do with the metal bronze, that kind of thing. So there's. I'm just holding this up so everyone can see, but there's a list of all the runes and their affinities there.
All right, so if it was like air and its affinity weapon is sword, that means you would take a minus 20% to all sword attacks if you had not.
No, just to further air rolls. And for instance, that might be really bad if you cast your spells using air.
Okay,
that's exactly right. You don't get a minus 20 to everything, but it's more just like when you're looking to augment, you'd be like, well, I've got this orange frisbee I'm trying to throw. I'm gonna try and
augment it with air. It'd be like, well,
exactly.
Because you haven't meditated yet, it's at a 20% penalty.
Exactly. Well, that's just because Josephine also failed her air roll.
Right.
Which is a bummer. Now, the other thing is just like, I'm going to sing while casting this spell, so you can roll your sing or your dance roll. So that's all good. Yeah. So, cool. Everybody is, so what did I say? It was on Fertility Week.
Water Day.
Water Day and Fertility Week of Fire Season. So
Fertility
6 days later.
It's like spring break.
Exactly.
God, I bet Skepticles loves this week.
Speaking of spring,
I live for Fertility Week.
Water Day, Fertility Week too. All right, speaking of which, let's just take a quick break, and we'll be back in. I assume in podcast world it'll be like 10 to 15 seconds.
Seconds.
How many
seconds?
Right. Okay. And we're back from that infinitely long break that we all took. All right, so it is Fertility Week, everyone's favorite week of the season, and you've all made your way independently to Pyne. Now, Pyne, again, it's a town. Pyne, spelled with a Y. It is a small town. It is made up of a few sort of ramshackle cottages. There's a little main street with a couple of shops. There's a very sort of not a high wall, or like a 5-foot wall, like they've attempted to make battlements, but they sort of got tired halfway through. It's like a 5-foot brick wall that goes all around the little town of Pyne. There aren't any pine trees, but there is this very sort of big, majestic tree that grows up from the center of the town. It's really nice, sort of almost like a what do you call them? Like the one of the trees that in the swamp that hangs Spanish moss.
Like a banyan tree?
One of those.
Or
yeah, something like that. The ones that are they're clawed and they hang down. And that's growing from the center of the town, like in their little town square where some merchants have set up, and some of the merchants, so like the local townspeople, they seem pretty chill. There's some kids running around, but the merchant cart that is there with Yanda, the UB Merchants Guild, which is written on the side, is there with.
I love it. The Unbearable Brothers,
Merchants Guild. Yeah, so they're set up there. Yanda is there as well. This guy, he's making a killing too, selling hunks of bread to not even just ducks, like to actual people who are very happy to get some food. So Yanda, that's how you arrive. You've been here for maybe a couple of hours, and the people are just harrying, involving themselves, buying as much bread as they can. And this guy, he keeps jacking up the price every chance he gets. He's like, these people are very desperate, make lots of good money. Yes.
And she's just like gritting her teeth.
Very, very excited. Now, because Yanda, you got there before everyone else because, your boss just couldn't wait to get there and start making a killing. So you didn't really have a choice in how quickly or whatever you got here. Who out of the rest of our group do we think is probably going to be the most, ignoring for a second maybe how far away you were, who would be the most efficient traveling? Who will arrive next? And it's possible if you think a couple of you might arrive somewhat simultaneously, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think I made any pit stops. I just rode with Craig in a straight line.
You did stop for a day to just think about the air.
Oh, that's true. I did have to meditate for a day. Never mind. Let's add that in.
I think I would make my way there directly, but probably at a very leisurely pace.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. And what about Rex Mannheim?
Rex walks slowly
and
deliberately, feeling the ground with every step.
Okay.
It takes him 6 weeks to get there.
It was so long ago.
It sounds like Yanda's just going to do this with 3 other people. This scenario.
Rex arrives for the next 2 shot.
Okay, all right. All right, so Skepticles, you arrive, and when you arrive into the town of Pyne, there's no one really at the gate to stop you from coming in. The gate is sort of open. You can wander leisurely. I'm sure not getting distracted by anything at all as you go your way. Yeah, as you go through, and you can see the tree, the tree in the town square, and the town square is full of people because they're all at this merchant cart doing whatever, trying to get bread, which you don't eat.
I don't do cards.
Yeah, no.
No.
Exactly. So this tree, it's really big, it's old, and you can see from it and hanging not just these Spanish moss things, but at the bottom of these little spiderwebby Spanish moss bits are these sort of big, orangey-looking apples, like orange-colored apples that hang from this big tree. And you, being a tree yourself, you see the tree and you can't help but feel. What do you feel? Tell me.
I just feel one with the world. I've just been doing so much inner work lately, a lot of people go to these retreats and they spend all these money, but they really go to whatever. It's just a fad, but I know the authentic places to go for meditation retreats, and I feel super one with nature. And so I am I feel I could just talk to this tree.
Mm-hmm. Can you please roll your dodge?
Oh no!
Wow.
What am I? What am I?
I believe an agility skill.
Let me see. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh.
So D100.
Yep.
I always like to remind.
Make
you
it.
Didn't do it. What did you roll?
I rolled an 86 over a 65.
Over a 65.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't quite fumble, but that's not good. So you're sitting there having this moment with the tree, thinking about how you know all the great meditation spots, and as you're doing so, you are bowled over by this very this tubby, disgusting merchant who was on his way refilling his cart with a big hunk of bread. He didn't even notice you were there because you look like a tree, and he just knocks into you and you fall into the dirt, and he goes, "Yanda, yes, more bread for the cart. Can you please help the other merchant who I hire to run the inside of the cart, whose name I don't care about because I don't care about people, I only care about money. Could you help him restock the cart? Yanda, quickly now. You are my servant. You must do as I say." And he's got this big sack of bread, and he drags the bread It's dripping with carbs.
Dude, that's
So be
so
careful.
rude. Like, I was just standing here and like, didn't you see me?
He's not paying attention to you. You're a plant. Why would he talk to a plant? He's not a crazy person.
Am I a plant though? I thought I was an elf person.
You are. No. I'm just saying that's where his head is at. Okay, it's like he turns around and goes, "What? Jeez, what bloody hell? Oh, this elf. You want bread?" And he opens up a bread and he holds a bread. It's like 7 lunars for the bread hunk.
First of all,
Heal.
No.
Heal.
No, thank you. First of all, like, I don't want your bread. Do you know the danger? I don't know if you know the dangers of gluten. You probably wouldn't. But like,
He doesn't
I was
look like a
just
man.
standing right here, and you just like totally knocked me over, and like trying to totally like have this moment with this great tree over here.
First of all, when it comes to gluten, this guy doesn't look like he's had a normal bowel movement in his life. Okay, so he's like, he looks at you and goes, "No, I don't care. You be careful where you're going. I am businessman. I have places to be. Yonder."
Careful.
Yeah, he turns around. He snaps his fingers. He snaps his fingers at Yonder. He's like, "You, come help elf. Help the elf.
Excuse
Find her
me.
glutens or whatever." And and the merchant turns his back to you. And he marches back to his cart, and he put all the people. And there's a lot of people at the front of his cart trying to get food.
He said this to Yonda.
Yes, he turned to Yanda. He said, "Yanda, get the elf. Get the elf out of here. 'Cause she's mouthing off."
Do you know
Bad for
this?
business.
Do you know this
Yeah,
person?
she'll come up to you. She'll come up to you and say, "I'm sorry, you have to go. I'm sorry, you have to leave." And
But like, why? I was like brought on this like magical quest to like talk to this tree and like protect it.
Magical quest to talk to tree.
Well, I was trying to talk to the tree, but then this like rude person just bumped into me. But I was like trying to have this moment. I'm here like on a purpose, like with purpose, to make sure that like nobody F's with this tree.
What did the tree say?
Well, it wasn't
And
this
she
tree.
gets
I mean,
like
I was
super serious. Like,
okay. Like, don't be alarmed. But my mother and my grandmother sprouted from the ground, and they told me that this was it the red what was it called?
The
Red Emperor.
Red Emperor.
And they
The
told
evil
me
emperor
that
of
the
the moon.
evil emperor was going to come in here and then mess with this tree. And I'm not about that life. So I'm here to protect this tree because this tree's been here forever. And like, it's part of the wonderful earth. Like we are in fertility season.
exactly. Yes, fertility season. It's a great time to be so close to clear wine. And I'm sorry, you just need to step away a little bit, and we can talk more. Just a little bit further. And she's
Like
just trying
there, is there good?
there,
Like
yes.
right over there?
Right over there is good. Yes, it's he says, the gluten-free is bad for business. Don't tell people about the bread. Don't tell people about the bread. But
as
I
you say-
agree with you. I agree with you.
Listen, I may be like anti-gluten, but I'm pro small business. So like, I won't like mess with whatever he's doing. But like, honestly, I was just like really taken aback by how he just like pushed into me with like no reason whatsoever. But like, yeah, I'll move over
No,
here.
he is very rude. He is very rude. In fact, do not support him. He's a very large business, very, very large business.
He comes back at this point. He puts his hand on Yanda's shoulder. Says, "Oh fuck! Oh, quick! I pack up cart quickly now. Really bad, really super bad. It's super bad." And he turns. He says, "Yanda, please protect the cart while we pack it up." And he turns around and he begins with his other servant to pack up the cart. Telling everybody, "No, we're closed up. There's no more lunas for
What
bread."
is
And people
happening?
take
What's
the hunk.
wrong?
Well, and he just points, and he points to the entrance of the town square, where there stands Wilma and Craig.
And Craig, yeah, thank you.
What's flamingo?
Yeah, so I think I'm riding. I'm like atop.
Astride.
Astride, yeah.
The bloody evil
I know how
flamingo.
to ride animals. Yeah, Craig is also like scarred and battle worn, like I think there's a scar across like the eye, and like I said, the white feathers are really tinged this like muddy red caked blood that's like just splattered on him from countless battles.
So the
Wilma
eye
also-
that he's missing, the
Yeah.
eye that Craig is missing, is constantly letting out like a little plume of black smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Skepticles is just like kind of fixing her hair, just like.
And Wilma has like, okay, I'm just gonna read. I don't know what all of this stuff is, but I'm imagining it in my head anyway. A heavy scale hauberk. Hauberk.
Yeah.
She's got a studded leather skirt, helmet, plate greaves, and vambraces. And she's got like a medium shield as well. And she's got three distinct scars.
Yeah, this is because you're heavy infantry. Like this is why you are
cavalry.
decked out. I want to know immediately what the number is on your right vambrace.
How do I? Okay, well, see, I don't know. I don't know. It says
How many points
6
for the
points
vambraces?
protection.
Which is
6 points.
So a vambrace, I believe, is your arms.
Yeah.
So that's 6 points of armor on each arm. So write that into your
basically, that is impenetrable to me, basically.
Yeah.
So like, you look like someone I couldn't hurt even if I wanted to. You know, you're so heavily armored.
Yeah, and I wanted to be, like the Western sort where it's like a wind blew in and I'm just riding in.
Oh, I'm here for it. Like I'm just like,
And
Yonda will turn for a second.
I see them scrambling, which makes me want to go in that direction.
Well, it's just that the people aren't scrambling. The people are upset that the cart is closing up. But the Ub brother the Ub brothers are known in the deserts of Brax, which is where you're from. The merchant brothers. They are lying, thieving, horrid men, and he's freaking out because he's sure that because most people can tell by looking at you, it's like that's a rune priest of Gargeth right there. That's bad news.
That is so cool. Yeah. That is just so cool.
And so he's packing up his cart and he's freaking out. And then he's talking and he gets something. He gets a little pouch from his cart and he walks past Yanda and he walks towards Wilma and he looks up at you and says, I give you this for your trouble and welcoming to my new business venture. And he holds out a pouch to you. It's a very small, light-looking pouch.
You cheated my warriors out on the road.
No, that was my brother. That was not me.
Oh, you all look the same.
We do, yes. But please take this and no bad comings to anybody,
what
present
do you
or
offer
future.
me?
And
This
I'll
pouch.
grab his head
my head.
and hold onto his hair as I grab the pouch and sort of try to gauge what's in it.
The cat.
Yonda
the pouch,
is smiling and
The pouch.
like takes this opportunity to move closer, as if this might be an opportunity here.
Okay.
This is very interesting.
I see
the pouch.
Yondan smiling and I wink.
The pouch it's very light, and opening up, you find there are 2 lunas in there, which is just 2 silver coins. The same sum you paid your mercenary. Behind, can you do a scan roll? I think it's under your perception skills. Scan.
Yeah. Wait, me or Yonda?
Oh, just Wilma. Just Wilma.
Oh, okay. Ooh, it's a 12, which
Nice.
is under 55.
Okay, so you're scanning around, you see the board of the merchant cart that the other little servant is hastily trying to wipe out, has got, hunk of bread, and it started at 2 lunas, was crossed out, 4 lunas crossed out, and is now up to 7 lunas. So he was selling the hunks of bread for 7 lunas. So you can see that, and this guy's wiping the board down to try and get it all packed away. Says, yes, you take the money, very good offer on you.
You
And,
don't even offer me as much as what your stupid hunk of bread cost.
well, it's heel money right there. You could get a heel.
What if I
Anything
take
else?
your hair too?
My
I'm, like,
hair.
Pulling his head up, holding his head up.
Okay, and it's into this scene that Rex Mannheim finally arrives, taking his easy strides one at a time.
Slowly with every
You've actually been in sight of the town square since Skepticles arrived, but you've only now just physically got to the town square because of your very slow purposeful movements.
He moves very slowly, and his hands are like in his cloak.
Yeah. The flamingo waltzed past you at one point. You're like, that's going to be trouble. That's okay. All right. So you arrive, and you see the merchant who's on his knees with his head being grabbed by this rune priest of Gargath. You see the initiative Babista Gore Yanda standing there. I'm not sure if she's drawn any of her weapons, and you obviously see Skeptically the elf. I'm not sure she's still combing her hair. Is that what you said was happening, or is it?
I was just really mesmerized by everything I saw when like Wilma came in.
Mm-hmm.
The rune priest of Kakath.
Yeah, I'm just taken aback, really. But I'm standing close to Yonda.
And Yonda is like pulling out her whip that she always keeps close, and she drops it down to the ground, just lands down in the dust, and she sees a real opportunity here, and she starts walking over toward this scene, and she just calls right out to Vilma, and she's just like, "No, it was not the brother, it was him."
Oh.
And she just like smiles.
This guy's like,
I'll lean down to his ear then and say,
You hear that? Now you are lying to me too. We cannot have this. Who is this warrior you keep?
she's mine. I own her.
Not anymore.
No.
Well, I think you'll find I have all the relevant paperwork, and she was bound to me, and it's really
I'll
only
pull
actually
out
on
a
my
dagger
death that.
real quick from my thigh and hold it right to his neck.
I said not anymore.
No, okay, no, I understand what you're getting at. My point is the spell that was cast by the light of the stars, and I signed the papers. Actually, I think you'll find binds her to me until such a time as my death. So it's not that simple.
I see.
Yes.
Can I attempt to cut their neck?
Yeah, so he's got his face has 3 hit points. Do you have the stats for your dagger there?
Oh jeez, I was flavor pulled the dagger.
We can say it's your mace instead if you've got the mace. Got your mace.
No, the dagger is 1d4 plus 2.
Yeah, I have
1d4 plus 2.
Well, yeah,
And
but
then
my
plus
stat
your
because I have to
damage
roll. I assume I have to roll on my skill.
I'm not going to make you roll to attack him. You
Oh,
just
nice.
Do that for free. You can just roll the damage, which is 1d4 plus 2 plus
1d4?
1d6 plus whatever your damage bonus is, which I think is 1d6.
Wait, 1d4 plus 1d6. Where are
Plus 2.
Oh man, I did not put any weapons down. I'm so terrible.
That's okay.
Okay.
Do you really want to kill this guy, or do you want me to flavor intervene before you start slicing his face apart? Do you feel like you?
Well, if he dies, you can stash him.
I'm okay with killing him, but if you'd
You
like
can
to-
intervene if you'd like. You can do it. You're watching this happen.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, I'll throw this out there, and you tell me what you do. But I come in and I look at the tree. Ah, Pyne, the noblest of woods. What a beautiful day to separate the living from the dead. But what goes on over here? And he starts striding over as you're pulling your weapon out. I came here to rid this town of a great evil. And I see squabbling merchants. What goes on here?
So, and then and Skeptically proceeds to recap in a very gossipy manner of everything that's going on right now. And she's like, and normally I wouldn't resort to violence because honestly Death Week was last week. But I'm really curious as to what's going to happen here. He seems really unfair with overcharging for bread, which but I don't know. I think I just want to hang back and watch what happens.
This is not the squabbling of merchants. She turns to you, and I guess
Okay,
we
I'm killing.
recognize this kind of stuff, right? Like I would recognize what cult he is or follows, right? By what he wears,
the way
pretty
he's
much.
dressed, and also the runes that are tattooed on people as
Right.
well. You usually get your runes tattooed on you. But
This is no-
he's clearly an initiative Dakafel. He's wearing the
Right.
robes and the veil, the creepy veil that you described earlier, Troy. Yes. And
It's
also,
just-
all the residents of Pyne who are eating their bread, they're sort of watching this. They're on the outskirts. So they've just moved back. Some of them have gone into their homes, but there's still a lot of people in the town square watching what's happening.
You know what I don't like though is like that dude is infringing on Yonda's freedom over here, and I don't like it.
And splatter blood across anyone nearby as I slice this guy's neck open.
What'd you roll though?
7 damage.
7 damage. Which,
It appears he has been judged.
Which is yeah. He's killed instantly. Looking at my chart here, he falls to the ground, bleeding. And Yanda, you feel something you weren't aware of before. You just feel this weight lift from you as that magical essence that was tying you to the UB merchant is undone.
I look to Yonda.
Her
and
eyes
say,
widen.
Warriors should not be bound to anything but battle.
Rune Priest, I thank you for lifting me from the service. And she goes down to one knee and like bows her head and then stands up quickly again and just looks down at his body wide-eyed, and her head snaps to the other servant. And she's just like,
he's already running. He's already running. He's gone. So it's like he just took off. Yeah, he's gone. The cart is still there, full of bread.
She looks back up at you. He has made much money off of the people here. You can take any money you like. Any money you like. I am indebted to you.
Aw.
The dryad. I just love it. Like the whatever. The forest.
I'll
Rex,
just grab.
is there something you'd like to do now that
Yeah.
this body's on the ground? You've seen this exchange.
He will go to the body and lay his hand upon the face of the merchant, grab 2 stones from the ground, and place them over his eyes. Rest easy now, evil merchant. Dakafal sent me here to rid this place of evil, and it seems that my job was done for me. Good day! And he starts to walk out of town.
Do you know the vibe I'm getting from Rex? And this might be quite honest, maybe sort of showing my age. Anyway, do we have any Seinfeld fans in the room? Does anyone remember Jay Peterman, who was Elaine's boss in one of
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
He's a little Charlton Heston, a little Jay Peterman.
Little Jay Peterman. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I love
Sorry.
it.
The urban sombrero.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys have like plants sprout out from the ground and tell you to like get rid of the bad vibes in this city?
What was that?
Or was that just me?
I hear the lunar soldiers are on their way.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
What? She bares her teeth. Yonda bares her teeth at the mention of lunar soldiers.
How many of you have hate lunar soldiers as one of your passions?
Man, I've got
Or lunars.
80.
Wow, you really hate them. Yeah.
I really hate the Lunar Empire.
I
were they part of the Orving plan? Was Orving plan?
You also hate the
Orleaving?
I hate them
clan.
too.
Yeah.
Were they part of the Lunar Empire?
No, they're not. They're another. They're just a regular group of people that you also kind of hate because didn't they starve you or whatever?
They like 3 times. It was bad. I'm
No, I
all
think-
for like
did they
I'm all
have
for a good cleanse, but
Yeah.
when it's like voluntary.
Did they have something to do with the Battle of Pennell Ford, or
Pretty much all the battles were involving
Against the Lunar
Yeah, the Lunars.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lunar.
Okay.
I somehow don't have any hate against them, but I think I've fought them a lot.
No, I
in
think that's
every
what made
battle.
sense because you fought in every battle, but you gained no loyalty or hatred, so you were just so mercenary, and it made sense for you to just be this weird outlaw thing. Anyway, can everybody please make a listen roll now that you're all there, and everybody make a listen roll. It'll be under your perception skills on the second page of the sheet.
Okay.
I got you. Oh, that is bad.
There is
82 over
Oh, here we go.
35.
Oh, Joe, I rolled an
82 over
83
35, that's
over
fail.
40.
Whoa, 'twas
I rolled-
meant to be.
A 36 under 45.
Okay,
Ooh.
and Wilma,
Oh, failure for sure.
you failed.
Yeah, 78
Okay. All right.
over 35.
So skeptically, you can hear the sound of many hoofbeats approaching from outside the city. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I hear them coming.
God.
They're on their way.
When you say that, the residents of Pyne scatter in panic. They start screaming, "Oh, they're coming back! Oh, they're here again! Oh, what are we gonna do? Oh, I don't know!" And they're all freaking out. And many of them they're running and scattering back into their homes. And it's literally, it's like they're shuttering their windows, they're clamping their doors shut. There's one guy who looks pretty, a bit more official. He's wearing that. He's literally crying actively. He's like, "Oh my god!" But he's wearing like, "Oh god, not again! Oh god!" And he walks to the tree, the pine tree, the tree of pine, and he puts his hand on it, and he's sort of waiting. He's like, "Oh god, not again! Please, just don't let them stay so long, please, please! Oh god, please!" The grain goddesses, please hear my prayers, please. Oh my god. He's so scared. And then into the town square ride two horses, but both with two men astride each one. And they ride in a circle around the tree, and the guy at the tree is like crying, and he's waiting for them, and he's bowing to them. And then these men dismount their horses, and they're dressed. They look like what we would call like Roman legionnaires, like with the weird leather dress thing and the plumes in their hat. But notably, their armor hasn't been tended to. It's rusting a bit. Looks like it's battle worn. Their plumes are not, the plumes in their helmet, the red plumes, are sort of askew and dirty. And these guys, they dismount their horses, and they've just ignored you completely. It seems they've just written you off, even though you look different to every other registered member of the Pyne Township. And they get down and they draw their swords and they point them at the guy who's in the tree, and the leader who's got this big scar right down across his face, really big, thick one. He walks up to this official guy who's still actively crying, and he says, "All right, scum, time to surrender the apples." And the guy nods. He goes, yeah, all right, please, just don't hurt anybody again, please. Oh gosh. And then he reaches up and he starts picking those sort of orange-looking apples from the ends of the Spanish moss on this tree. He picks one, and then he slowly picks one, and then one of the other soldiers just yells at him, "Faster, you dog!" And he does, oh god, and he's slowly picking these apples. What would you like to do?
I would like to draw my bow.
Oh gosh.
Bow.
Okay. Oh. All right. So that's a very serious combat thing. Sorry, everyone. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna lower my line.
Sure.
Really
yeah, vamp. It is. It's like
it's like a J.J. Abrams film.
Amazing. It really was.
Fabled light of the god Yelm smiling in upon us. Okay. Sorry. Now, skeptically, you said you were drawing your...
I draw my bow, and I say, "Those apples don't belong to you."
This guy, so this leader, this lunar soldier with the big scar, he's holding his bronze sword. He just slowly turns his face towards you. He says, "What business of yours is it what we do here? You best keep your mouth shut, or I'll have it sewn shut, and then I'll have your head removed from your shoulders, and then I'll have that head placed upon a pike, and then I will take that the headed pike, to the Red Emperor himself, and I will present it to him, and he will eat your face."
I'm sensing a lot of toxic masculine energy right here, and I'm just here to tell you that I am of this earth and I will protect it to my dying breath. So drop the fucking apples.
As she's having this conversation, Rex is like slowly backing up, and so as a shaman, as an assistant shaman, I have
assistant to the regional shaman.
Assistant to the regional shaman. I have second sight, which, correct me if I'm wrong, it kind of allows me to see spirits that might be in the area.
That's the spell, is it?
Yeah, it's a spell that like shamans just get.
Is it a spirit magic spell?
It is a spirit magic spell. So is it something I have to cast, or is it just like?
It is, but you can do that very easily. I'm just going to look it up in our Red Book of Magic.
Woo!
What is it called? Second Sight.
Second Sight.
Second Sight, which is on page 118 for everyone playing at home.
That's me.
Living being or all creature in the spell's range, glow visible to caster. That's pretty cool. It also lets you know the power stat of everybody, which is important if you're trying to cast debuffs on people. If
That's
got a
really
high
cool.
Power, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yes. So to cast the spirit magic spell, everyone should also just do this now. I always because it's so common. If you're casting spirit magic, the roll you make is your power times 5. You want to roll under that. So everyone just calculate. Do it now once and write it down. Whatever your power multiplied by 5 is.
Can I ask a question here before we really dive into the mechanics?
Of course.
From a lore standpoint, in the world standpoint, like what is the essential difference between spirit magic and rune magic?
I am so glad you asked. So spirit magic,
just alley-oop that shit down.
Spirit magic is everywhere because there are spirits of like literally everything, and it's literally like drawing magic from Glorantha itself to do something. And it is so common, like literally everyone can do it, and it's like almost like a second nature. It's really not that exciting. Now, rune spells, as when you're drawing magic from the gods. So when you do them, it's because of your cult, and it's much more. They're much more powerful, and they're also much more visually exciting. Like you can tell, like that guy's doing some rune shit over there because it's like like your tattoos might glow, or your eyes might change color. It's all like that's when that kind of stuff happens.
It's like demonstrably evident to people around
Exactly
you that
right,
you're casting rune magic
because you're drawing on the power of your god to do that spell. Yeah, that's pretty much the difference.
Okay.
So Rex, would you like to cast Second Sight?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm standing back. I want to see if there are spirits in the area. I want to gauge the power of these enemies. Rex is not physically strong. His power comes from his communion with the spirits, his communion with the god. So he wants to find spirits to fight in his stead, should it come to blows. So I'll roll, my power times 5 is 75. So here comes a 77.
Okay.
Come on, dude.
How about a 14?
Boom!
Oh, wow. 14 to 77.
This looks so cool. Like I stand back and you see these 4 guys in the tree, and then I imagine you just start to see other shit too.
So actually, what you've rolled there, I've got a chart here which does the math for me. But
I was going to say.
Rolling a 14 under a 77 is actually a special success.
Damn right it is.
There's regular, there's fumble, failure, success, special success, and critical success. In this case, a special success means you can cast the spell without having spent those magic points. So Second Sight was a 3-point spell. You just don't have to spend those anymore. Yes,
I wasn't going to spend them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're going to come out of your rock. Yeah. So don't spell it. So yes, you can see now. This allows you to see the power of these soldiers. And there are spirits, everywhere. There's no particularly powerful spirits, but there are certainly spirits that if you were to try and summon one, you could draw upon one, and we'll roll up the random stats for it. But importantly, what you can see is each of these soldiers, with the exception of their leader, has a power stat of 10, which is not great. Power stat of 9, and the leader has a power stat of 10. Okay. Now, this will be important if you want to cast, or if anyone wants to cast magic on them, because you have to compare powers when you try to cast against an unwilling creature.
Okay. Sorry, and how does that work? Comparing powers, is it straight up or is it a roll?
Generally, again, I've got a cool chart. I compare your power to theirs, and it tells me a number that you need to roll to basically overcome it. Yeah.
Got it. And what if they're equal? What does that roll end up being?
I think it's 50-50.
50-50. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you can sing to help make it better or something. Like you can augment your things. You can always do that. Remember, that's something. Now we're about to enter combat because Skepticles has really laid down some fighting words here. Now, generally, what happens in RuneQuest is before combat enters, everybody gets a chance to maybe cast one spell before combat begins. So we'll just go around. So Skepticles, what spell would you like to cast beforehand?
I'm going to cast Animate War Tree on this magnificent tree because I just want to empower this tree to stand up for itself. and beat down on these people.
Yes.
Animate War Tree is a rune spell, which is pretty hardcore. So we'll just note that. So can you roll against your plant rune? This will cost you 1 rune point.
Okay.
Roll against your plant rune, and also let me know if you would like to augment it by dancing or singing.
Yes, let me see. What am I really good at? I think I'm really good at singing. Yes, I'm really good at singing.
Are you?
So I'm going to sing a little song because, it is festival week.
Like a fish song or something? Or?
No, I'm just going to sing like a really... Did you say fish song?
I did, yeah.
No, I'm going to sing a song about, really being a boss bitch and not taking shit from people and like really standing in your power. I want this tree to stand in its power and not take this crap.
Okay. So roll against your sing first. What is your sing?
My sing is a 45.
Oh, okay. Don't fail it.
Okay. 36!
Okay, all right.
Oh,
so you,
wow, nice.
So you pass with a normal pass, so now you get plus 20% to your plant rune to cast the spell. What does that make your plant rune?
Listen, my plant rune is at a 75, so it's now at a 95.
Okay. You can still fail. Just don't.
No chance of
don't
failure.
Don't say that, right?
Yeah.
I rolled a 46.
Okay, so you do. That's a regular success.
Yes.
So you draw upon, and you begin to glow with green energy as it is drawn up from the power of the earth, and you extend your hands toward the tree, and this energy glows and breathes like into the tree, like veins, giving it life. This happens very, very quickly, and the tree begins to move. And yes, this tree will participate in combat now. I will note this down.
So awesome.
You don't actually. I don't think Animate War Tree lets you control the tree.
No, but there are I'm looking at the stats for the war tree. Yeah, there are stats for it
on page 12 of the Red Book of Magic. There are the if you.
But it's not about control, Brian. I want this tree to defend itself.
Yeah. And for sake, Noura, we're going to use the stats that it suggests there rather than rolling them. So 26, 41.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Wilhelm, is there a spell you'd like to cast before combat?
You just want my name to be Wilhelm.
I don't know. It's Wilma. No, you can be Wilma. Just always thinking about the Kaiser,
I imagine that my mace has the spikes all over it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Sharp little spikies.
Do you clean it often? Do you reckon it's caked with the blood of your many?
Yeah, it's caked. It's caked.
Yeah, caked boy.
And I will say, the fight has found us once again. Gargarth, lend us your strength.
And I will slice my own hand, and I trace the rune of disorder on my head with the blood. And I'd like to cast Blade Sharp on my mace.
Okay, that is a spirit magic spell, and it is variable points. So how many points of Blade Sharp do you know?
I got 2 points.
Okay, would you like to cast a 2-point Blade Sharp?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So again, this will be your power times 5. Would you like to augment this? Now, you because you said you got to do it in the name of Gargath, you could roll your worship of Gargath to augment it. That might make narrative sense. If you'd rather dance as well, you could do that too, or whatever you. Basically, any skill or passion, or
my worship of Gargath is actually not that high.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. It was like the Cult of Babeester Gore. It was like choosing this gives you worship of Babeester Gore 10%.
Yeah,
it's a little odd.
I know, and like I said, the requirements for Rune Priest very low because. Apparently the worship.
Gargath's like, whatever. Like, you're one of my boys, you're one of my boys. That's all I got.
No, I guess I'll just try to roll under my power. And what points does this use?
This uses spirit magic. So your spirit magic spells uses your magic points, not your root points.
Oh, okay, the magic points.
So your magic points,
perfect.
which is the pool at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll use 2 of them. Regardless of whether you succeed or fail, you spend the points.
Yeah, I got a 35 under 60.
And that was that was to cast. You weren't augmenting, were you?
No, it was just a cast.
Okay, so you get it. So, Blade Sharp, I believe, for every point you spent 2, gives you plus 5% and plus 1 damage. So in this case, it'll be plus 10% and plus 2 damage.
Yeah.
And that is magical damage as well, which matters for some creature, like if you're fighting a ghost or something. So your mace skill is now plus 10%. What does that make your mace skill?
110%.
Hell yeah. That's why we like to give it here in Glorantha. Give it 110%. All right. Okay.
Sorry, can I ask? I don't see generally among any of the spells really duration times. Like what?
Yeah. So there's the spells. So they'll generally say temporal or instant. Yeah. So instant just means it happens and it lasts for, I think it's like 10 combat rounds or like 2 minutes or something like that. If it's a rune spell, the default is 15 minutes. So generally, it's enough for a combat, or like if you're doing a dungeon crawl, like a couple of rooms,
So pretty much any spell, as long as it doesn't say instant, is going to cover a combat.
Yeah, generally like instant is like a damage spell or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Cool. All right, Yanda, is there a spell you would like to cast? You don't have to. You can still cast spells in combat, by the way. It's just very common to generally.
Yeah. Why not? Let's do it. So I think that, yeah, I think I'm just going to do the same thing to start. I don't want to meta too much because I know we only have a short amount of time and I want to use all the juice, but I don't know if I want to use it all in the first jam. So I'm going to go with Blade Sharp as well. So
what level of Blade Sharp do you have?
2. So she will do the same thing. So as the rune priest starts to do it, you just see mounted on a flamingo next to her. You see this warrior just pull out the shield and then the whip and start incanting this spirit magic into the whip as it starts to glow and become powered. Well, we're gonna try.
Find out.
I'm not very powerful, so my power is 50. So it's 50-50 for me.
Would you like to
augment
it, though?
Absolutely. So I would love to use my hatred of the Lunar Empire to augment.
Which is 80%.
Yeah, so because she hates them so much, and they're just coming up and taking our apples!
Oh, by the way.
Or oranges or whatever they are.
Did somebody pass their augment roll earlier? Was that you, Noura? You augmented with dance?
Yes,
you danced.
I did.
Yeah, so please tick the little box next to your dance skill.
I didn't know what that little box was for.
That was for ticking it. Because and we'll go over this at the end of the session, but yes, ticking of boxes is important.
Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to roll my hatred of the Lunar Empire to try to augment my casting of Blade Sharp, and I got an 8.
Yes.
8.
That might be a critical.
An 8 versus 80. 8 under 80.
So that is a special success, which in this case is plus 30%.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Wow. No, it's plus 32% to the ability for the duration of the encounter.
Oh.
So you will get plus 32 spell casting for this encounter.
Great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So similarly, if you had said, I'm going to do an attack with this passion, you would get plus 32 your attack rolls.
For the entire encounter.
Yeah, so if you want to cast spells now, so that brings your spell casting from 50 up to 80 now. So now you're gonna Now you're gonna cast Blade Sharp. Note that you spent.
All right, now I'm gonna cast Blade Sharp at 80 power instead of 50.
Yes, exactly.
All right, attempting 42. 42,
well.
life, the universe, and everything. Let's go, baby.
All right, so you cast Blade Sharp 2, so reduce your magic points to 2, and just like Vilma. You now get plus 10% and plus 2 damage to your whips.
Yes.
All right. And Rex, I know you cast a spell before, but that was before we said everything. So if you would like to cast another spell now.
Okay, I have 2 options. One might be silly, so let me ask you about this. I have this spell called Spirit Binding that allows me to take one of these spirits and bind them to something. I was thinking, what if I bound one of these spirits to the tree, and then maybe the tree could animate? Would that do anything? Am I getting too far-fetched?
Is Spirit Binding a rune spell or a...
It's spirit magic.
Well, the tree's already animated, right?
Bind it to some bread.
But all right, so the tree's already animated. I didn't know if the tree could fight and stuff.
It sounds like the tree can fight.
I mean, it can now,
it's a war tree now.
Yeah.
Okay. So Spirit Binding is more actually to enchant objects with the spirit. So that's more like if you want to put a spell like in your rock, the rock that don't you have a necklace that gives you a spell.
Yeah.
So that necklace will have had spirit binding in it, and that spirit has the glamour spell.
I see.
So
okay.
it's more for that kind of yeah.
All right, then this is what I'll do instead. I will. I want to cast sleep on the guy with POW 10, the leader.
Yes.
The leader?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
sleep
you
is a
do.
spirit magic spell.
Sleep
Yeah.
is spirit magic. Yep.
Okay. All right. And
If you have the Red Book of Magic, it's page 119.
There we go. Love it.
This is a 3-point John, a 3-point spell. If the caster
See,
overcomes,
you just use John and everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
if the caster overcomes the target's POW, the target falls into a deep sleep for the duration of the spell. The target
Okay.
only awakens if injured or blah blah blah.
All right. So first of all, you have to roll to cast the spell, and then if you cast the spell, you need to see if your power will overcome his. And so let's roll if you cast the spell first.
Which
Okay,
is
so
a
those are
power
2
times
different
5.
rolls.
Correct. Yeah, you've got to summon the
Okay.
magic, and then you've got to overcome their
I know my power. I know I'm more powerful than him, but I don't know if I can
Yeah, well,
overcome him.
Yeah, we'll all find out together. Would you like
Let's
to?
see.
Let's. What's
I
your?
wonder-
So your power times 5 to cast.
My power
the
times
spell,
5 is a pretty good roll. I think I might try to use a rune maybe for the second roll. if that's
Sure,
all right.
sure.
All
That
right,
sounds
So
good.
let's
Yeah.
see here. All right, 31 under 75.
Okay,
Nice.
so that's just a regular success. So sleep is active, and that costs you 3 magic points. So take that off your rock or your.
Imagine this like weird haze starts to form in his hands, like he's going to be throwing
Yes,
this
yes.
haze
And
of
the,
sleep.
and the haze buzzes with honk snoo over and over again. Yeah. What is your power? Your power.
My power is 15.
Your power is 15, and you're looking. So 15 to his 10.
Yup.
Is a 75 you need to roll.
75 or higher?
No, 75 or under.
Okay. All right, then I'm not
You're
going
5
to.
points higher than him. Yeah.
I'm not going to use any of my runes. I think I can get this. And I did with a 41 under 75.
Okay, so you cast the honk snoot, flies into this guy, like the guy with the big scar on his face, and he just literally passes out and collapses. All right,
That is amazing.
now we are in combat. So let's go around the table. What do you want to do on your first turn? Let's just start with what we do. Sorry, to be clear, first thing we do is we go around and we ask everyone what they want to do, and then based on what they want to do, we assign them a strike rank. Now, strike ranks can feel a little esoteric and weird. Essentially what it is, it's a predetermined initiative number. So rather than like in a lot of other games where you roll to see what your initiative is, your initiative in this game is called a strike rank, and that strike rank is based off what you're going to do and the weapon you're using to do it. You've got a much clearer idea of when you will do things.
And the lower strike rank goes
Exactly.
first, right?
So on a round, we'll go from strike rank 1 through 12, and then a new round will begin after we get to strike rank 12. So the
And-
bad guys are going there too. Yeah.
And how many guys do we have? We got one guy asleep.
There's one guy asleep, so there's 3 other guys left. Okay. So, Skepticles, what would you like to do for your first turn?
For my first turn, I would like to fire my elf bow at one of the awake dudes that's closest to the tree.
Sure. What is your Dex strike rank, which is on the front page of your sheet, I believe, under your characteristics?
So Dex, my Dex is 12.
So do you have your Dex strike rank written underneath that?
Oh
Should
yes.
Yes.
Damage. Dex strike rank is 3.
Is 3. And what is the SR value of your elf bow, which should be on your weapons?
Value of my elf bow is an 85.
It'd be a SR, it'd be like the stat of that.
Oh, good question. I don't know. Where would I find that?
It's under the weapon
elf bow.
itself in the core under combat.
Right, but an elf bow is not like part of the regular thing, so I gotta go find.
I'm pretty sure
his-
I think an elf bow is actually 1.
Okay.
So that makes the total of your strike rank will be 4.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So I'm going to put you. So you'll be going on strike rank 4. I've got this cool strike rank tracker that comes in the RuneQuest data set. So I'm actually just going to put a little dice, or if we were playing in person,
Nice.
a mini for you on the one that you go on. So Noura is this cool hit die from my Necromunda set. No free ads. Okay. And Vilma, what would you like to do in your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna ride forth with Craig and try to swing my mace and try to decapitate someone.
Dude,
to be honest,
this is awesome.
This
is intense.
I am Team Wilma and Craig.
Yeah.
What is your size strike rank?
What is my size strike rank is 1.
Okay, and your mace strike rank
is 3.
Okay, so that's also 4, but you're also riding forward.
Yeah.
So that's another +1. So you're going to go on strike rank 5.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry. So I'll remember the numbers. It's okay.
Yep.
Yanda, what would you like to do?
Yanda, I think, is gonna. She feels this fire within her from this Lunar Empire encounter, and I think she's gonna roll with this spellcasting boost that she has.
Yeah.
So she's gonna turn right around and do another spell before she gets into it with them, and I'm gonna cast Disruption and attempt to just magically crush one of their heads.
Okay. So,
yes. And I feel we shared a moment, doing our blade sharp at the same,
Yeah, dude. I
right
saw
before.
it. I want to see it animated. It was like you on the flamingo and you did your thing. I'm on the ground and it looks kind of the same. We're doing the same ritual.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
hell yeah. So how many points are in that spell?
1.
1? Okay, so that will go on strike rank 1.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, very quickly. Now, and Rex Mannheim.
Okay, now that I see these spirits floating about, Rex Mannheim sees all these spirits floating about, and although they are not wildly powerful, with the leader asleep here, this is what he does. He just kind of manipulates the situation. I want to see if one of these spirits can possess one of the soldiers.
Oh, sure.
So I want to use spirit combat is what I'm...
Oh, spirit combat. Yes.
Yeah.
You want to use your spirit combat attack. Yes, so that'll be... now, the important thing to note is spirit combat is still a viable way of doing combat, but when you do damage to people's magic points, which is very easy to know for you because you now know all their power, and their magic points is equal to their power. So these other guys that are left, have 9 magic points, which means they have 9 hit points. Now, if you ever go to 0 magic points, you fall unconscious.
Okay, so that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
I just thought you couldn't cast spells, so you fall unconscious.
Yes, you
So you can
get a 0,
cast yourself unconscious.
You can cast yourself.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's
Good
why you
to
get
know.
yourself a rock like Rex has. Yeah, so
Noted.
Yeah,
Noted.
Exactly. So what is your size strike rank then?
My size strike rank is 1.
Okay, cool. And spirit combat, I think is it's actually +4. So you'll be going on strike rank 5. And then you'll roll a spirit combat. And you've got your spirit combat damage on your sheet, yes?
I do. I actually have bonoses to my spirit combat damage.
I bet you do. Yeah, it's
Assistant to the regional shaman.
Okay. All right, let's start then. All right, cool. Strike rank 1. That is Joe's character is Yanda. That is Yanda casting your disruption spell.
Yes, okay, so rolling against my POW, now hugely boosted from my previous special success. I literally rolled 42 again.
Did you really?
Nice.
That's bizarre. 42 again, so that's a success on disruption, which does 3 points of damage to a random limb or head or chest. And it bypasses all armor and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know how we randomize it.
Well, no, I've got a chart. Roll a d20. I'll tell you where you hit him.
Roll a d20. Okay, here we go. That is an 11, right down the middle.
An 11 in the abdomen. Sorry,
abdomen.
The hip to just under your floating ribs. Yeah, so you just hit one of these guys like a gut punch for 3 points.
For 3 points.
In his abdomen. I'm going to notice this guy. So I've got a character sheet here with all his various locations. So he's taken 3 points of damage to his however many point abdomen.
And then, can I also... Okay, so I didn't say this at the beginning, but is that something I can cast and then start running forward? Does it matter?
You could say I was going to move and cast, which it just would have made you a strike rank 2, which is still.
Well,
the
no,
first
I was going to
person
say
anyway.
I was going to cast and then move. It doesn't really make a difference because
not really. You could say you were doing that. It would just mean that you would go on strike rank 2 rather than strike rank 1, but that still means you're going first, so it doesn't make a difference. So yes, you begin to run forward.
Okay.
Now this guy who you've begun running forward to is going to attack you with his sword. Now in RuneQuest, I don't just roll and and I tell you what happens. You get to decide. A bit like Call of Cthulhu, if you play Call of Cthulhu, you can decide how you're going to react. Now, he's attacking you with his broadsword. You don't know how good his broadsword skill is. You can choose to either parry with one of your weapons.
I will. I'll parry.
Yeah, you're going to parry with your whip?
With my shield.
Cool. Oh, with your shield. Your shield. Like, that makes more sense. Yeah. All right. So you're going to roll your shield.
Not sure I like all this whip hate, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
He's going to roll his. He's going to roll his broadsword. So you roll your D100,
and I'll roll my shield.
Okay.
Is there a parry skill? You just roll your shield skill?
No, you roll the actual skill of the weapon or armor that you're using.
Exactly.
Okay.
What did you get?
I got a 25 under 65 on my shield.
So 65, 20. So you succeed. And he rolled a 90 against 60, which is not great. So that's actually a... he didn't fumble, though. He didn't fumble. That's not too bad. All right, so I've got another chart here. So you did a normal parry against a failed attack. So... do you have the damage of your shield there? Does your shield have a damage rating when you copy
it does,
down?
1d4.
It does. Okay, so because you successfully parried and he failed his thing, you actually get to hit him with your shield.
Oh, awesome! So she deflects the sword to the side and then comes back across his jaw.
So now,
can I go for his head?
No, you don't. It'll be a random location, but just roll the damage.
Roll the damage.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I had all these dice and not a d4 to spare. All right, here we go. 3 damage.
3 damage, and roll a d20.
Okay.
Where do you hit
15.
15 is his right arm, so that's going to be eaten by his armor, unfortunately. So he's just going to plonk. He still hated that. No good.
No, wait, does it lower his armor at all, or just eats it?
It does. Sorry, you're right. The attacking weapon's HP is reduced by 1, so it's the armor value is still there, but you are closer to breaking the armor on his stomach. Yeah. Okay.
Visually that's really cool because he hits it and like you the armor gets a little broken,
little damaged.
So,
exactly.
Yeah,
and there's some spells you can get. Like you can do character builds where their whole thing is just about shattering people's armor, so they are vulnerable and just can die to a fall.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right, Skepticles, you're shooting your bow, I believe.
Yeah, I released my arrow, so I'm rolling a D100 against my bow.
Against your elf bow skill, what's your elf bow skill?
85.
Oh, that's pretty high. Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah.
So that is a critical success.
Yes.
Now, every when you get into special successes and critical successes, in RuneQuest, different weapons have abilities that trigger. So a arrow is an impaling weapon. So what happens is an impaling weapon on a critical hit does double the normal damage. Damage bonuses are applied normally, and the weapon is stuck in the target's body and may need to be free. So he literally you plant this in it. So if you'd done this with an impaling spear or something, the spear would be stuck.
Nice. Okay.
Pretty messed up. So roll the damage dice for your elf bow.
What is the damage on that?
Okay. Give me one.
Sorry, I should have.
Okay. I've got my weapons and equipment book.
Oh.
Most of the bows seem to be 1d8, the regular bow. Plus 1. 1d8 plus 1.
Yeah, that seems about right. I think an elf bow might be slightly better. But I will find out. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I'll talk. I have a question for you, Brian, which is, when I parry and come back with that, do I get my damage bonus, or is it just the raw damage?
Not for that. It's just the weapon's normal damage for that. Okay, because you're going right against it.
I was just worried that you were cheating me out of some damage.
I'm so excited to hit things.
I mean, you are going to be so scary. I love this from the jump, like you just coming into the town, and it's like.
Riding in on a
rune priest of
bloody
Goth. Like I love that. It's so cool.
So it's on page 69 of the weapons and equipment book.
Yeah.
Noura, I'll get you to write this in here now. So the damage is 1d8 plus 1.
1d8 plus 1. Okay.
The HP of the bow is 6. So if you try to parry with your bow against someone's axe, your bow will probably get broken in half by the axe.
Okay.
That's all you really need to know in your strength.
Okay. And then what does the critical do?
its type is impaling, so that means you're going to roll 1d8 plus 1, and then double that. Double the
I
result.
rolled a whole 4, so that's 8.
Double to 8. Now, can you roll a d20, and I'll tell you where your arrow struck him.
All right. 12.
12. In the chest. Right in the chest.
Yes.
He's got some number of points
Just
of armor
stuck
in
in
the...
the chest.
this is the other guy here. He's got some number of points of armor in the chest, so some of it is taken, but otherwise his chest takes 2 points of damage.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
And the arrow is just sticking in him
Just
now.
stuck right in there.
Okay. All right, so now I've got both Vilma and Rex on the same strike rank. So these things will happen simultaneously. I'm happy for one of you to go first. You can choose yourselves, so I do not seem to be picking favorites.
Please, Vilma.
All right.
Damn it.
Please, Wilhelm.
Please, Vilma.
We all defer to Wilhelm.
Wilhelm,
Yes.
I insist.
Thank you.
I feel like I am riding in, and I want to do the thing where you like lean off the side of your mountain or hanging off in order to like swing by with a mace and just clock him right in. Well, we'll see where it hits, I suppose. So I'm rolling my mace.
Yes. Roll your mace. This
So
guy
I know
is...
this is gonna hit. I just don't know how well.
Well, so here's the thing. This guy's going to try and parry with his sword. Now, you're over 100.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell you, his broadsword skill is 60, but for every point you're over 100, he gets -1. So he's at -10.
It's just like Call of Cthulhu.
Okay, so yeah, so he's rolling, trying to get 50. You're still just rolling dice.
Okay.
He failed spectacularly. What did you
Nice.
roll?
I got a 32.
32.
Oh, yeah.
That's still just a success. So that is a normal attack versus a failed parry. So the defender will just take normal damage. So roll the damage of your weapon. Remembering you get +2 because of
Yeah,
blade sharp,
and my damage bonus, yeah?
which is 1d6. Yeah,
Great.
I think. Isn't it 1d6 for you?
Alright, that's 12 damage.
And roll me a d20 to see where you hit it.
19.
19. Guess where that is, everybody?
Come on.
The head. 19 damage to the head. I'm going to tell you, he's got a 3-point armor helmet on. So how much damage did you do?
12.
12. So that takes it down to 9. And then he's got I think it's 3 points. Yeah, no, sorry. He's got 3 points of HP to his face. And on my chart here, when you do the damage summary, if you equal or exceed triple his location XP, he's killed instantly. So you just crush this guy's face. He is down.
Oh, man, Vilma kicking
Very, very, very upsetting. Okay, and
Probably a
Rex.
terrifying sight, for sure.
Rex, you're doing spirit combat.
Yeah, so Rex, again, hands in the folds of his robe, never takes them out. It's just
Now,
like...
do you want to do it to the guy who has the spear stuck? The arrow stuck in him, or the one who Yanda has just plopped in the abdomen with his shield? Who's doing combat there? They're the only two that are left. The other guy's asleep, and the other guy just had his face caved.
Let's do it with the one with the spear in him, because I feel like he probably took less damage than the one that
Sure.
took damage to the head. And so he'll slide back, hands in, and just watching these spirits direct one of them to, like, take over this guy and sap his mind.
Okay. So roll your spirit combat.
You mean the skill I have 100 in?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. This guy does have a natural defense, which is fine. So he's gonna roll his power times 5, which is not great.
I rolled a 4 under 100.
Wow. A 4
That's a
under
critical,
100. Well, it depends on the skill. He's a 100, so it is a critical. So it is a 4, which is quite good, and he failed his parry. So that's going to be a critical attack versus a failed parry.
We are awesome.
Oh, man, this is going to be so ugly.
So the defender, well, he takes damage, but with no armor penetration. Now, the other thing is that spirit combat damage doesn't have a type, so you don't get a impaling, crushing, or slashing, because they're just spirits attacking somebody's soul. But the thing is that his armor won't protect against this. So roll your spirit combat damage.
And do I double it or anything, or no?
No, because it's not.
Right.
But what's your...
It's 1d6 plus 4. I rolled a 4, so it's 8 points of...
8 points of damage, and we know he's got 9
9
magic points.
Oh, it's so close.
But most importantly, because you critited, he doesn't have any armor protection. So the armor doesn't... Normally you would roll a random location to see if the armor took any of that spirit damage, but you just go straight through it, and he just takes... the guy's really sleepy.
awesome.
More importantly, though, if this wasn't like an intro combat and I was playing these guys hardcore, they would be casting spells too. And more importantly, that guy now couldn't cast one without passing out.
Yeah.
Right, like you see these guys and you think, oh, they're just soldiers. They're going to start swinging swords. Not in this world. In this world, like you're going to be using dull blade and shit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the debuffs. All right, there are 2 guys left. The guy fighting. No, the guy fought Yanda already. There's a guy. Sorry, I forgot to take dice off. The guy got his face crushed. The guy with the arrow in him is going to try and attack Vilma.
Yeah.
So, would you like to parry, dodge?
Get at it.
And with what?
I'll parry with my shield. Why not?
Parry with your shield? Okay, so you roll your you can also parry with your mace if you wanted to. As in, like, use the mace to knock it out, which is 110.
Oh,
so
yeah,
might be better.
I'll use the mace.
Okay, which also means he's at neg 10 again. So he's looking for a 50, you're looking for a whatever you roll. He failed, 56.
I got a 61.
Okay, that's a pass. So that's a failed attack versus a normal parry. So can you roll the weapon's normal damage, please?
Oh, I just get to do more
you
damage?
just like get a hit on him.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah.
Nice.
But the blade sharp
Still
doesn't
triggers.
add the +2? Oh, okay.
Does it? Yeah.
All right, that's 9 damage.
And roll a location for me, please.
Oh my god.
Heck yeah. And what strength rank are these guys at?
We're at 7.
Oh, okay.
It's a 17.
17 damage.
No,
17.
no.
Okay. 17. That's his left arm, where he's got 6 points of protection.
And I did 9
Right,
damage.
so it takes. Ooh. Okay. So that is double his.
ridiculous.
So you basically hit him in his elbow here, and then they break his elbow, and his bones jut out the other side of it. He's incapacitated in shock, and he cannot act until he is treated. So he just falls to the ground, like scream, my fucking arm! Jesus fuck! So there's the one guy left who's got the arrow in him. Now, I didn't tell everybody this recently, but the cool thing about a bow is you can actually shoot multiple times in a combat if you can fit. So there are 12 strike ranks. Noura was hitting on 4, so she can shoot again on 8 and again on 12.
Heck yes!
Exactly.
Oh my god,
So-
I didn't know that. Also, what
That's
strike
awesome.
rank is the tree?
Oh, the tree! Oh shit!
The
On
tree!
Here, on the
turns
box,
out
it
it's
said the
7.
strength rank is
Animate war tree. So it depends on the attack. Strike rank 6. All right, he should have gone before that last guy.
That's
All right,
okay.
so the
I
tree-
like
the
the
tree can go
dramatic.
now. The tree, maybe the tree will kill the guy
So
with
Vilma
your arrow
kill
in
stealed
him.
from the war tree.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry, War Tree. There's still another dude, though.
It was
Right.
no. She'll wait
So
for
the-
a dramatically appropriate time.
So the tree is just going to swing and hit this guy. Noura, I'll let you roll it. The tree has got a 60% chance of hitting this guy with its tree branch.
Okay. All right. So I got to roll percentile. I rolled a 67. What did you say it was?
No, 60.
Oh,
So the tree misses. But it hits the ground really hard.
And just
Like when
a nice
when you hear
breeze
the
happens.
the branch that hits the ground makes such a noise that you'd be like, wow, if that hit that guy, that would have been really bad for everybody.
No,
Okay.
I love that though. That like it hits the ground, it just shakes under all of our feet.
Very, very scary. The guy's freaking the hell
This is
out.
so cool.
All right, strike rank 8. So you get another shot, Vilma.
Heck-
Not Vilma.
oh.
Fuck it. Skepticles.
Skepticles.
Heck yes.
Skepticles.
I rolled an 11 under
85?
85.
We are
Yes.
crushing.
That is a special success. So is
All
a special
right.
success. Oh, sorry. This guy technically does get a dodge roll. Let's just
Okay.
see if he dodges.
We're like really good at this.
It's really hard. He does not dodge. You rolled a special success against a failed dodge, so you just roll the special damage, which again is impaling, so that's double normal damage because you rolled a special success.
Double normal. So a d8 plus 1. Oh god. I rolled a 1. So it's 4 total.
4 total, and roll me a hit location too.
All right. 8.
8. Okay, that is his left leg. He's got 4 points of armor in his left leg, so the arrow just bounces off that armor. But you get to shoot again at strike rank 12.
Got it.
So go again. Shoot the
This is
same
awesome.
guy. Now, if you would like,
I'm rolling shit damage, but
you
like.
can do a cold shot, which means you can choose to take minus 30% to your hit roll, and you get to tell me the location you are aiming for.
Okay.
But when you do this, it also means you go on strike rank 12. Sorry, it's not minus 30, it's only minus 20. If you ever do this, you can only ever do it on the last strike rank. So if you say at the start of the turn, I want to aim for his face, you can do that, but you won't go until the last strike rank.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So if you would like to, because you're on strike rank 12 anyway, you can take minus 20%, say I'm going to try and shoot him in his face.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it. All right. Yeah, sure. Why not?
So you'll plummet to 65 then, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna live dangerously, Brian.
Okay. All right. So roll me the dice. There you go.
All right. I rolled a 60.
60.
That made it, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
60.
So you made it. Yeah. It's not a special. So it's just regular damage.
Just a regular success,
D8
regular
+1.
damage.
In the face, though.
In the face.
Where he's only got 3.
4 points. 4 points of face damage.
Okay, so he takes one. He takes 1 point of damage to the face. Now we're at the end of combat though. There's just one guy left. He's the guy who's got the arrow in him, and he just took one to the face. And he's like, he's looking down at his sleeping master. He's looking. He's only got. This is the guy's only got 1 point left. He's looking down at the other guy who just had his face crushed. He's looking down at his other friend who's had his elbow compound fractured, and he just says, "I think I should go inside now." And he turns and he runs to try and get onto one of the 2 horses that are still there.
Are you kidding? Can we stop him?
He retreats.
Well, I'm telling you, this is what he's doing. He's retreating. He's trying to run. So what would you like to do, everybody?
Chase that man down.
Chase him down and try to kill him before he gets to his
Right.
like a maniac.
Yeah.
Like
a maniac.
frothing at the mouth. Yeah.
So using your whip.
Yeah, using my whip to, I guess if I have to move and whip. Yeah.
What was your? So move is +1 to your strike rank. What was your whip rank? What was it? 5.
We never did it.
You didn't whip.
The whip rank is for my dex strike rank is 1 for what that's worth.
So that'll be 5 and +1 because you're moving. So strike rank.
Got it.
Okay.
The question is, I have to move, right? Like I have to move to get to him. Yeah.
Does moving on a mount like help at all in speed?
You can get double the distance for the same number of strike ranks.
Oh,
so you can
okay,
move much
okay.
further. Also, if you charge with a lance, if you're on a thing, and also we haven't looked up your flamingo's damage, but if you run into somebody, the flamingo does actually like impact his. What it actually does is it increases when you move and then attack. It increases your damage bonus by a number of d6 based on the mount. So it'll be +2 d6 to your damage bonus at least, and then we'll look it up for next thing. The flamingo might be more.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get it by next time. But yeah, I'm gonna do the same. It's chase to say, run, Craig.
Unless anybody else. Yeah, and did you want to do another spirit combat attack at him? Because he might just pass out if you hit him once more.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm seeing all these people around. I can just direct them.
So cool.
Okay.
Is the tree able to move at all? To just be like, wow.
The tree can just take another swing, but it's going on strike rank 6.
Okay. And then am I able to fire one more? Is this the one that has one in the chest already?
Yes.
I'm going to say I'm going to go
arrow.
last and try to fire one in the back and just trying to shish kebab him.
Okay, sure. All right, this guy flees on strike rank 12 if he's not dead. All right, so strike rank 4, we have Rex. Sorry, strike rank 5, we have Rex and Yanda going at the same time.
Am I not at 4?
I had you at 6 because you were moving, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought the move was 1. No.
Oh, you're normally 3. Sorry, it's your mace plus your size plus 1
which
to
is
the
4.
movement.
Okay, it's 5.
It is 5. Okay, so all 3 of you are going simultaneously. Would someone like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go because I don't think that I'll just like kill him. So I'll go and I'll just gonna try to whip him.
Okay, he's going to try and dodge your whip.
Okay.
He does get a successful dodge, but what did you roll?
I rolled a 59 under 90, so I think regular success.
Okay, so regular success versus a regular dodge, so he just dodges.
Got it.
Okay.
It snaps in the air.
Damn.
All right, who's going next? Rex or Wilma?
Wilma, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going. I'm going to swing And maybe like where what's your name? Joe, what's your character's name? Yonda. Where Yonda, like, it was like a 1-2 punch where we locked eyes and you like kind of set them up for me. You know, like as they dodge, I catch the other side.
Yeah. All right, he's going to try and dodge, but because he's already dodged this turn, he gets minus 20.
Oh, that's cool.
Great.
And he failed spectacularly.
So, like, Yonda whips out to his right, like hurting an animal.
Yeah.
Just like he dodges, it snaps, but it pulls right into your lane to take him out.
Yeah, I got 77, so regular success.
That's still success against his failure, so you're going to roll just your regular damage. Plus 2d6 because you charged in with...
Wait, plus 2d6 on top of this?
Yeah, because of because Craig's like... whatever noise the flamingo makes, I don't know.
That's 17 damage.
17 damage. Can you roll a d20 for me, please? D20.
Whoa. It's a 20.
Oh, 20, that's in the head. Crush
you
his head.
You are just an absolute beast.
Oh my god.
So you swing the mace into the side of his head, which clocks him real hard, and then as he clocks his head to the side, it goes right in the way of Craig's beak, and Craig just like decapitates him.
Yes, Craig!
Yes. And the Lunar soldiers are vanquished. And the guy from Pyne, the official-looking guy, he was still crying. He's like sitting there, and he's spattered with blood from everywhere. And he's like, "Oh God! Oh, they were trying to take our apples, our special Pyne's apples, the apples from Pyne.
Not on my sundial.
No, but and he puts the apples in the bag, and he stands up and he wipes his eyes. But what if the dreaded Red Emperor returns? What if he comes back? Maybe you can go and get rid of these soldiers, and in return, we will give you all of our Pyne's apples. And we'll find out what happens in our next session.
Yes!
Okay. Nice. Did everyone have a good time? Now, sorry, I forgot to say, every time you succeeded a skill, you should have checked the box. So if you did your mace, if you did spirit combat, you did elf bow, please check that box. Yep. We're going to do this now. I know we're a little bit over time, but it'll take. Okay. I just want to showcase to everybody.
Oh, it's fine.
It's exactly like Call of Cthulhu. With every check box you have, you're going to roll a D100 against that skill, and you're going to want to roll higher than that skill.
I can't roll higher than 100.
I not? Yeah, can you not increase if it's already?
You can't. No, you can. It's silly. You basically you roll and you want to get, because when you roll these, if you get a special, if you're over 100, you want to roll it and try and get like a critical success. And
what if you rolled exactly the same number?
Wait, so if I get low,
that's still
if you get low. So you want to roll higher unless it's already over 100, in which case you want to
roll low.
You want to roll low to try and get your critical or whatnot. So Noura, what did you roll? An 85.
So for Sing, my Sing was a 45, and then I rolled a 45.
Okay, so your Sing goes up to 46.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a 47 under 100 for my spirit
combat. Okay, that's not a special success. So no, you don't go up any higher than that.
And I don't think I did it. I succeeded on any other skills.
You did do a power roll, which means you notice that power has a little tick next to it too.
Oh, okay.
That will matter. So when you play a campaign, there's every 4 sessions, because there are 4 seasons in Glorantha. There's 5 season, Earth, whatever. And every game story, every session you run is supposed to take place in one season. So the next season is the next story.
Oh, cool.
So that means, when you play a campaign, every 4 sessions you have a period called the Sacred Time, where you can do all kinds of fun stuff. One of the things you do during that is you roll to see if your power increases. So you have to do that sort of once every 4 sessions, your core magical strength can increase. The other thing you do during the Sacred Time is things like check to see how your farms are going, roll to see if you have any children, if they grow up, that kind of thing. You
get
all the
base income,
manage your house, exactly, all that kind of stuff.
That's
cool.
Do you check your POW if you cast
a spell at power times 5, you check your POW.
And so we're trying to get over the power times 5 on that one too.
But you don't do that now. That's only Sacred Time.
Oh, yeah, just kidding.
So I think Sacred Time, Josephine.
I think all I did was whip and
shield,
and cast spells. Oh, shield! You're right.
Yeah. You're right.
Come on, shield. I actually have a chance. Come on. It's so bizarre. I rolled so
42?
all of them under. I rolled 32, 32, 33 on the 3 rolls.
Wow.
It's just wild.
All right. No increases for you.
No increases for me.
Yes.
And then I unchecked them.
You unchecked those boxes. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. All right, and then we'll play some more RuneQuest next week. Sorry.
Wait, what do you do if you do increase them?
Oh, what did you? Which ones?
I got
did you succeed at?
just on scan. I got a 75 over.
Oh, so
my
your
55.
scan, it goes up to 56.
Oh, by one. Okay.
Yeah, it goes up by 1. Yeah, it's a steady increase. And the other thing you can do at the end of a story is you can actually, the thing you do with your gold and treasure in this game is that you buy new spells. All your spells have a cost associated with them, so you can buy new spells, and you can also pay for training. So you can pay to get a flat plus D10 percentage to a thing. You do that obviously not between now because it's still the same story. You didn't go off and do training, but if this was like, last week we concluded an adventure, we're starting a new one. You did some training in the meantime, cost you 50 lunas to train your shield up. Yeah, you get plus 4 to your shield now because that's what you do with money in the game, basically. So.
I rolled my plant rune to like animate the tree. So if I succeeded on that, I try to roll higher.
Correct.
For that as well.
Deal. And
nope.
You don't. Okay.
But,
and the thing with the same thing, so you check your runes too if you ever rolled runes.
Okay.
Didn't someone cast a rune spell? That was you. That is what you did. Yeah, excellent. Cool. All right. Well, RuneQuest, did everyone have a fun time?
Woo!
Dude, that was great.
So fun.
We're running a little bit over, and then next week we'll hopefully. I just want to point out that it is surely ridiculous that the Red Emperor has returned just to harry this small town for their Pyne's apples. But we'll find out exactly what's going on.
It's called a two-shot.
Exactly.
Two-shot.
Can't wait. I'll let one of y'all do the outro or whatever, because I don't know what you say. So,
Take it home, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Noura, for being amazing. This session was fantastic. Thank you, Josephine, for being the scariest, most badass character of us all. I appreciate it. And thank you, Brian, for running it. This has been another awesome installment of Friends of the Pod, and we got another ep next week, which is just fantastic. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you in a week. Until then, worship your God. It's very important.
Hide.